Hey guys, just wanted to shoot this quick video to show you all the details on this kit bash from a Plasticville train station that I've been working on. This was pretty much out of the box, unpainted. It's old. Um, I might have some pictures of it unpainted, but basically this was brown plastic down here. It had a white structure with, I think, green doors maybe, and a black plastic roof. um, I had figures that were glued down on right on the plastic in various locations, and some detail items over here that I had to unglue. I tried using like nail polish remover acetone with very limited results, so I ended up just getting the Dremel out and shaving these off, and I'm still finding bits of plastic all over the place. So just know when you use the Dremel, it makes a mess. Um, Basically, I base coated the the platform and this structure. Unfortunately, the primer that I had was gray, but it had silver in it. So every now and then you get a really shiny part that's silver. I did re-prime the platform black after I was really disappointed with the silver. This platform and the posts I actually primed white originally, and I didn't like that either, so I ended up spray painting them black to start with. And then basically the platform and the posts on both of these, if you can see, and I did weather them before I painted them by using sandpaper, razor blades. I pulled up a couple of the boards here and there to kind of make it look really, really weathered. So you can see that if I can get it back into focus, you might be able to see some of that detail. Our figure fell over. But anyway, I did add some details like the platform label. It's still not coming into focus. Silly thing. Anyway, there it goes. There's a beware of train sign and another platform label. We'll get him out of the way temporarily. He's just standing around. I probably should have put like a no loitering sign because he's always standing around. But you can see one of the details I added was I boarded up this window. All the windows also have plastic like glass put in, and then I used masking tape to put like a shade in. The inside of the model was spray painted black, and then there's a black piece of cardboard construction paper that's just diagonally through there, so you can't see through most of it. And then this is just wood as well, so that's wood, that's wood. Added the signs and stuff like that. This chimney and roof is not the original. The original roof is actually this one. The chimney was glued in by myself years and years ago. I tried to save this, and then I just didn't like it. And I thought, well, I'll just make a cardboard roof and put that on with black construction paper that I spray painted gray, not silver, gray, and a little bit of black. And then cut them into strips, sanded the edges to make them look rough, and had some that were spray painted black as well. The chimney here, this is a Best Trains chimney, and I just did a really crappy spray paint and a little bit of metal tin roof rusted paint that's on it. The weathering is Monroe Models. So Monroe Models. And I forget the name of the weathering kit that I got, but it wasn't very expensive, and that's what I kind of like the best. The neat part is they also sent this scale ruler, so we can kind of measure this guy to make sure if we need to file a police report later, we know how tall he is. He's actually a little bit over 6 foot tall. He's a tall dude. We'll name him Sparky. Just random name that came to mind. No relation to anyone alive, dead. Just a name that came to mind. Did the similar thing on this side with the wood boarded up window and added the signs for the train station. Also, one of the things on this side I forgot to mention is I did cut out the window, like a ticket booth window. I saw that somewhere and I thought, oh, that's a really cool idea, I'm going to do that. And then I added a light above the ticket window. And I'll leave you guys up to figure out what that light is in real life. You can post a comment on what it is, what you think it is, and eventually I'll let you know if you're right. So I think that's all I have on this. I basically just put this on a wood kind of platform and glued a track down. These are glued down temporarily, just so I don't have a layout right now. I just wanted to kind of play around with something. So this is the model that I did. Oh, I guess I should go over the painting. The painting on the platform was, after the prime, I used a sponge in different shades of brown to cover it up. And you can see some of the platform is really rough from where the figures kind of got glued down. But I did the best. So there's a black primer. You can kind of see that in all the lines. And because of the sandpaper weathering, I also did on the door frames, the bottoms of the windows, all the doors have sandpaper scratch marks, so there's some texture there that the paint kind of stuck to. You can't see it real well in this picture, but the windows and the door frames are all green, kind of a greenish color, and then the doors are brown. I would like to light it eventually when it goes on the layout, but that's in the future. So then the stone building, I tried to use, because this is backwards, like instead of the grout or the mortar being indented, deeper than the stone, and the stone sticks out. In this case, the way they did it, the stone is indented and the mortar sticks out. So I started with gray and just used various different shades of gray and brown to kind of make it look like stone, and then used a black dry brush to highlight the mortar and kind of weather it then with some browns and stuff like that. Again, the roof is that cardboard, so I had to make this piece up here, and basically I made that out of let me pull it out here. I made it out of this local brewery coaster, and it's just cardboard, thin cardboard, and I kind of cut it out. I did have to trim it a little bit, so I have these extra little pieces because peak isn't really that steep, and with this steep it just looked awkward and it didn't match up to uh, where the ticket booth is. And you can see it doesn't quite go down all the way, but I'm happy with it. It's down in the back, not down in the front, but I'm okay with that. Eventually I just had to say, this is good enough. This is my first attempt at this. I may come back to this later. I may not. I may just roll with this. So I'm happy with how it turned out. I'm learning as I go. The paints were just acrylic craft paints. And then the weathering powders were the Monroe models. And some spray paint, some just rattle can spray paint primers, cheap ones too. I didn't get anything fancy. So thank you and happy modeling.